right here in the studio, live and in person, Nick Lund. He is from the Advocacy and Outreach Manager for MaineAudobon, the author of books like the ABA Field Guide and Birds of Maine. Welcome.
Great.
A long-time Sugarloafer.
Long-time Sugarloafer.
Yeah.
Honored to be on the channel.
Well, honored to have you here, and an author and advocacy work,
Yep.
and right here live and in person. And I know Nadine had a chance to interview you, and nice to have you here in person. Let's talk about some of the kinds of birds that skiers will see here up around here on the mountain.
I'm a bird guy.
You are a bird guy.
I want to make sure that the people watching the channel have a sense of what's going on around them. You can be out there seeing the birds around. So it's winter right now. Not a lot of birds around. It's good. It's for a beginner birder, now is a good time to get into birds because there's not a lot to remember. You don't have to worry about a whole lot.
Good point.
And just so we know what's going on. In the summer, there's a ton more birds here. They come up to eat the insects. They live, they have babies. In the winter, no more insects. They head out of town, they migrate away. So the birds that are left are just the ones that can survive in the winter. They eat seeds, so they have food all year round. So that's the ones that are left. So just a couple. So I want to talk about a few of the birds.
Sure, please do.
Okay. When you're out on the hill at Sugarloaf, listen, look around for stuff. One of the main birds you'll see is chickadees. Right, so we have two species of chickadees here at Sugarloaf. Black-capped chickadee, which is the state bird of Maine. Here we go, we got a picture here. And then on the left there, you see a boreal chickadee, a special type of chickadee, not found in southern Maine. Sugarloaf's one of the best places to see them, but they're hard to see. They're rare and they hide in the woods. They're not coming to your feeders like the black-capped chickadees are. If you want to see a boreal chickadee, that's the special one. Look for the brown on the head and the pinkish on the sides. That's how you know you got them. They have a sort of higher pitched call, but it's really hard to tell if you're not really in tune to that. But the one you see most of the time is a black-capped chickadee.
Absolutely.
They're all around. You probably see them right outside if we walked outside. State bird of Maine, like I said, great bird. They don't migrate. They have a territory that they just cruise around to all year round, so they know it like the back of their feathers or whatever. And a great bird. So those are two that you may see around. Keep an eye out for that boreal. Another one that you will see commonly are some woodpeckers. We may have a photo of the woodpeckers too. You probably got some of those, right?
We see those all the time.
So woodpeckers, I said that most birds here don't eat insects. Woodpeckers do eat insects. They just hammer at a tree, open that thing up, get at the little grubs and stuff inside. Here we go. We got two common types of woodpeckers here at Sugarloaf. There are some other special ones too, but these two look exactly alike, and it's hard to tell them apart. But these are different species. This is an example of convergent evolution. These birds are actually not super closely related, but they've evolved to look almost identical. So the way you tell them apart, well, first, the one on the left there, the smaller one, is a downy woodpecker. The one on the right is a hairy woodpecker. They're not particularly downy or hairy. I don't really know why they're called that, but that's the way it goes. I didn't have a hand in naming them. But they're different. The downy is smaller. The hairy is bigger. The hairy, one of the ways you tell them apart, because if you see them by themselves, it's hard to tell which one's smaller and which one's bigger, because they're just all by themselves. But if you look at the beak, the bill of the hairy there, it's way longer. See how it's extends way out? Much bigger beak. I invented this, a little pocket test, right? If I see one of these woodpeckers and I try to figure out which one it is, if I'm like, which one of these could I fit in my pocket? And the smaller one, you could fit in your pocket, probably no problem. The bigger one, the hairy, too big to fit in a pocket. That's my test that I invented on myself.
Now, what can you do to attract birds? What is it?
Put some seed out. So right now, all the birds that are around, for the most part, eat seeds. So if you want to put some bird seed out there in any type of container, bird feeder, anything you have, it'll work. Bird seed prices are actually really expensive right now.
They are.
A lot of sunflowers produced in the Ukraine, and there's a war going on. So get whatever you can. I got a tip for your watchers, which is there is a seed. If you buy a cheap store brand mix and it has something called Milo in it, M-I-L-O, looks like a bird seed, looks like something that some bird would eat, they don't eat it. It's completely filler, garbage, trash. So if you look on the back of the ingredients and you see Milo, just don't buy it. Because even though you're maybe saving money on a store brand thing, you're wasting money on this seed. So don't buy the Milo.
Wow, interesting, yeah.
But any type of other seed will work. So there's the two kinds to remember here. Sunflower is probably the most popular. We'll get all kinds of seed-eating birds in, finches, grosbeaks, chickadees, things like that. There's a small kind of seed called Niger seed, N-Y-J-E-R. That is for goldfinches, siskins, redpolls, birds like that. So those are the two ones that I recommend up in the Sugarloaf area.
Hummingbirds, people usually put, now is that a sugar water kind of thing? That
Yeah,
they,
sugar water. I mean, we don't have them here right now. They
Right,
are gonzo
right.
in the winter.
Yeah.
But they come up back. We only have one species in the east, a ruby-throated hummingbird. They come up. A thing to remember about the hummingbird feeders: don't buy the store red stuff.
No?
No, that red. They don't care about the color of the liquid. They're looking at the flower, that little thing they're drinking out of. And that red, it was just like food coloring. It might actually be harmful for them. So MaineAudobon says don't use the red stuff. If you want to boil 4 parts water, 1 part sugar, douche, done. You're good with hummingbird food. Yeah.
These are great tips because the food that they don't eat, my mother-in-law sent me to the store. I bought that and the red juice for the
There you go.
hummingbird. See, so I've
Look,
learned
I'm
a lot
I'm
here this morning.
happy to help you.
Let's talk about some more summer birds.
Yeah, I mean, Sugarloaf in the summer is, there's a ton more birds here. And actually, so we are here in the edge of what's called a boreal forest. So like Maine, if you think about basically like Bangor South is sort of an eastern forest, and then north is this boreal forest, this deep sort of spruce fir forest. All kinds of birds come here. There's tons of bugs to eat, tons of places to nest. And Sugarloaf's right in the heart of that. And Sugarloaf is actually famous for one species of bird that nests at the top. There's this bird called a Bicknell's thrush. It's thrushes, yeah, write that down because it's a good one to know. Bicknell's thrush. Thrushes are like robins, so it's like they're related to robins, so same size and shape as a robin. Thrushes, though, most of them aren't orange on the front like a robin is. They are sort of brown and with spots all over. We have a bunch of thrushes around the state, but one species, Bicknell's, nests only at the very top of mountains. So like right where the trees end is where this bird nests, right at the top. And so you can't find him anywhere. In order to find these birds, you have to go to the top of Mount Washington or top of Sugarloaf or top of Saddleback.
They like in the inclement weather.
They don't care. They love
don't
it up
care.
there. It's all tangled up. And so Sugarloaf has a population of these thrushes, and it's one of the few places in Maine to go. And so a lot of birders, people who are trying to see every single bird, will come to Sugarloaf, Saddleback, all these places, and hike to the very top very early in the morning to try to hear or see these thrushes. So that's...
bird watching is great here.
Oh, it's great here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. In the summer, there's a bunch of awesome places to go. Actually, the most famous around here is the Snowfluent Ponds down there, the Waste Treatment Center. You know, up in the Sugarloaf area, you don't have a lot of lakes and ponds and open water, but those Snowfluent Ponds are open water, have sort of vegetation around, not a lot of people around. So you have all kinds of breeding ducks and all kinds of good birds down at those places. That's where we all go in the summertime around here. Also just in the woods. I mean, it's just a playground of birds in the summertime.
Love it.
Pretty good.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, the Bicknell thrush. That could be a watch and win question.